Yes, at Pesach we talk about the exodus from Egypt, where all the Jews left together in a single day. And in the Torah, God describes this turning point in our history with a famous image. I have borne you al kanfei nesharim, on the wings of eagles. But this century we have witnessed a similar redemption, and in some ways even more remarkable. Because for us, every day has been an exodus from somewhere. Every day sees the planes landing at Ben Gurion Airport, and every day sees a new stream of Jews arriving to make their home in Israel. And these Jews were not born on the wings of eagles. They were born on the backs of Jewish communities all around the world. With the JIA's help, hundreds of thousands of Jews have come home to Israel, to a land full of opportunity and to a bright future.
I'm Felix and I'm 13. I come from the town of Belts in Moldavia, and I arrived in Israel with my family just 2 months ago. I started playing the violin when I was 6.
He was so small, and the first violin that we had was very, very small. It was a tiny little thing, 1/16, and it was the only one in the town.
I studied at a music school in Moldavia for 6 years, where we had a really good violin ensemble. The Jewish agency started a Jewish band, and that was the most wonderful thing that had ever happened to me, because we played lots of nice music, and we travelled all over Russia, even to Moscow, where we took part in a big celebration of Jerusalem 3000. While I was playing with the group, the Jewish agency organised classes where we studied Hebrew, Jewish history and literature. My brother Igor came to the Jewish agency classes as well.
I used to go to the Jewish club in Belts from time to time, and it was there that I heard about the Aliyah 16 program, where you come to Israel to finish off your schooling. And that's how I came to Israel.
The Jewish agency gave Igor everything he needed in Israel. He had free education, free accommodation and food. Igor called us by phone once a fortnight at the Jewish agency's expense, and it was just marvelous that I could keep in touch with my son.
In Russia, I'd experienced some anti-Semitism. And when I came here, I found it much easier being among my own people, and that was good. What was hard was the loneliness. I was very lonely at first, because I missed my parents and my brother so much.
At first, I thought it's great that Igor's there getting an education, but then I started missing him, and the feeling got stronger and stronger, and then I just reached the point where I couldn't stand being away from my brother.
Last year, I came to visit Igor in Israel, courtesy of the Jewish agency. And when I went back, my husband and I decided that we really should live where our children live.
When I found out that they were all coming, I ticked off the days on the calendar, and when they arrived, it's impossible to explain how I felt.
And when we finally arrived in Kiryat Yam, Igor was waiting for us, and I almost didn't recognize him. We hadn't seen each other in such a long time, and I'd been finding it hard to believe that we'd ever actually be in the same place again.
I cannot overstate what the Jewish agency did for us. First of all, we got absorption money from them, which helped us a lot in our everyday life. And whenever we asked for help, any help, they never refused. All our first steps in Israel are thanks to the Jewish agency.
3, 4.
We came to Kiryat Yam because our relatives who already lived in Israel said that I'd be able to get a really good musical education at the music school here.
I'm very pleased to have a student like Felix. He's very hard-working and dedicates a lot of time to his music. I always think of him as a budding professional musician, and of course that would be my greatest achievement with any student.
I've decided that I will devote my whole life to music. I'm sure it's going to be my career. There's nothing else I want to do. My biggest dream is to play solo in a very important concert.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we can grant Felix his wish. Will you please welcome Felix Fikhman? Ladies and gentlemen, Felix Fikhman Leonid Kuperman, Kiryat Yam Music School.